Welcome back, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Dave and I'm with Stoneworks Candles. I like to make videos on candle making, running a candle business, and just overall anything in this industry. I want to say thank you for anybody who reached out. All the support for my very first video. It was very overwhelming. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Everybody was very kind in their words. The video wasn't very good quality. I'm just new at editing, and all this I'm doing myself. So any feedback is greatly appreciated. So today we're actually going to go down to my shop and we're going to be making these 11-ounce candles. I have a friend who reached out who wants to do a couple candles for a wedding. They're going to be 2 different scents, 2 different colors. So I'm going to get to show you step by step on everything I do when making these candles. So if you want to learn more, make sure you tune in to the rest of the video where I'll go step by step. You can adapt it to your own creative lifestyle, use your own wax, use your own percentages, but I'm just going to give you an overall how-to. So guys, I'll see you here in a few minutes. Alright guys, so the first thing we always got to do when working in the shop, got to put on gloves. These are going to protect your hands, it's going to keep fragrance oils off of them, and just keep everything as clean as possible. Now as I said before, I use IGI 6006. So as you can see in my melter back there, I have it set to 185 degrees. It might get up to 195, but that's what I go with. I want to make sure to clean all my vessels out with alcohol before I put my wick stickers in. That's to make sure they stick properly, get any residue that might be left in there from storage. As I wipe them through with a paper towel, you don't need much. Most of it will evaporate, but just give it a quick wipe down. So I do use Eco 4 wicks in this vessel. The reason I use these is because they do burn a little hotter than an LX or a CD wick. It is a weird shaped jar, so I didn't want to over wick it at the top. So I wanted to leave a little hang up on the sides, and then once it gets down a little further, all that hang up will eventually melt down through. When using wick stickers, I make sure to rub down alcohol inside my vessel and also the bottom of my wicks themselves. I do have this wicking device that I showed in the first video. It's great for centering your wicks. I did throw some electrical tape around the outside to make sure I can get a good center. I was getting a little off center on some of my vessels, but this definitely helps tighten it up a little bit. The reason you want a perfectly centered wick is to make sure your candle burns through the center and does not tunnel. So I keep my pitcher here over a hot plate. And the reason I do that is so when the hot wax hits the pitcher, it's not solidifying or cooling down too quickly and keeps me a good temperature so I can add the fragrance oil. I'll tare my scale to 0, and what we're going to be doing for an 11-ounce candle, I'll be adding 10 ounces of wax and 1 ounce of fragrance oil. That's going to give us perfectly 11 ounces. I will be adding dye and a UV enhancer. That is perfectly fine. So I'm going to position my pitcher a little bit forward underneath the spout, and we're going to add our fragrance oil. Now a lot of times you can add it to a separate container and weigh it out. What I like to use is my temperature probe. I can pour the fragrance oil directly over that, and it's a nice steady stream, so I'm not over pouring. Once I reach the desired amount, I can just stop, and it is right there exactly what I need. Next, I'll be adding my dye. Since we are going with fresh banana bread for this particular candle, I'll be adding 3 drops of brown and then 3 drops of orange. That is going to give us a nice creamy brown color, which looks just like a banana bread loaf. And then lastly, I'm going to be adding Vibar, which is a UV enhancer which protects colors from fading. It's perfect for any candle that has a high concentration of vanillin. I'm going to stir this fully for about 2 minutes until everything's combined, and then I'm going to wait till our wax reaches a temperature of about 160. Once it gets there, it is perfect for pouring. So I have found that pouring at 160 works perfect for this wax. It eliminates a lot of sinkholes and is great for jar adhesion. I'm going to sit my vessel on my scale so I make sure I get a perfect 11 ounces. I like to use this paper towel to watch out for any runoff, but most times I don't have any issues at all. I like to pour slowly so there's no air bubbles. And then once I get right to the top, I'll be good. I sit my pouring pitcher back on the double boiler just so I can clean it out easily. It keeps the wax nice and hot, that way I can wipe it out. I'm going to put my wick centering tool, wrap the wick around it, give it a little twist so it stays center, and then we're all set and ready to cure. So the reason I put the pitcher back in the hot water is so it's easier to wipe out. I went through it once with a wet wipe, now I'm going through it with a paper towel. I did spray it once with alcohol. After that, you're good to go and you have no cross-contamination with fragrance oils. And now we set it up to go for the next fragrance. This time we're going to be going with my personal favorite, Siesta in the Keys, which is a very unique scent that is only found here at Stoneworks Candles. So again, we're going to set our pitcher under my melting pot, adding 10 ounces of wax, and now add the fragrance oil. With this formula, I will be adding from Candle Science sea salt and orchid at 25%, and then I will be adding tangerine and mango, also from Candle Science, 75%. So with this being more of a summer themed candle, I'm going to make it a nice bright color. We're going to go with a blue. I haven't tested this color yet, so we're going to see how it turns out. I'm going to go with 6 drops of the blue dye from Candle Science, and then we're going to test it out on a wax covered paper plate. So the reason we do this is to try to get a sense of what the color is going to turn out. I do have to bend my pouring pitcher back a little bit because there's not a whole lot of wax in there. So I'll just put a couple drops on this plate. As you can see, I've already done a few tests. This blue looks about perfect. If I wanted to go darker, I could add a few more drops. If I wanted to go lighter, I guess I'm SOL at this time. But I think we're pretty good. So we're about ready to pour then. So this time we're going to repeat the process that we did in the first part of the video. I'm going to set my vessel on the scale and tare it to 0. We're going to go ahead and grab a paper towel and pour again. Just like the first time, we're going to go nice and slow. Man, that blue color really came out great. I am very happy the way that came out. We're going to top off to 11 ounces. And once we reach that, put the pitcher back in the double boiler. I'm going to throw this on top just to keep any steam that builds up. And it makes it a lot easier to clean. We're going to center this wick. Going to give it a little twist. I'm going to use this clip right here as a little bit of a weight just to keep some pressure on it. We're going to twist it a couple times and we should be good. Again, clean out the pitcher, wet wipe, paper towel, and we're all clean. So this is our final product. Siesta in the Keys on the left, fresh banana bread on the right. I think we did alright today. I want to thank everyone for stopping by and checking out this video. Please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe at the bottom, and I will make sure to see you next time. Thank you.